afternoon. My name is Cindy Gray, and I'm the CEO of 5 Quarters Investor Relations. I want to thank TMX Group for inviting me to share some thoughts around distilling key messages, which represents a significant part of the service offering provided by the team here at 5 Quarters. To give you some background, 5 Quarters, or 5Q for short, is a Calgary-based IR and communications advisory firm that I founded in 2013, built on the belief that investor relations and stakeholder engagement goes beyond just the 4 quarters of a reporting cycle. Our client base includes a mix of both public and private companies, and our clients span from Alberta to Eastern Canada and into the US. Our sector coverage ranges from energy to architecture and design, technology, food production, financial services, and cannabis, just to name a few. 5Q's services are centered around helping you more effectively and efficiently tell your story. We support our clients in the development and execution of strategic IR and corporate communication programs, which typically start with distilling the key messages. From there, we generate and edit communications documents such as press releases, corporate presentations, fact sheets, ESG or sustainability reports, website content, annuals and quarterlies, board reports, and even advertising or marketing materials. Using this collateral, we then work with our clients to more effectively engage with analysts, sales desks, corporate finance groups, and investors while providing unbiased and actionable feedback to management teams. We have the luxury of working with some very smart executives, and through this, we find it's quite common for them to have challenges articulating the value of their business, primarily because they live and breathe it every day. When you're so close to the subject matter, it's challenging to see things from a 10,000-foot level. Management teams often forget to adjust their messaging based on the audience, who might know a lot, a little, or nothing at all about their unique story, industry, or potential. As a result, significant value can be realized from investing in the development of strong key messages for your organization. Key messages establish the backbone of your external marketing and branding and help you explain your business so an audience can quickly understand what you do, why you do it, and how you're adding value for your stakeholders. Key messages provide critical information that your audience needs to hear, understand, and remember. Key messages also help to articulate your company's purpose, business model, and the differentiating features that set you apart and highlight the value proposition for your stakeholders. Unlike corporate facts or statistics that are often used to support your story, key messages should convey information and clarify meaning to best resonate with your target audience. This can help you establish and control your company's narrative, which can be extremely helpful during periods when macro factors or industry headwinds make it tough to be heard. Once developed, your key messages should form the framework for all speaking or writing and be woven repeatedly through all communications to maintain consistency, continuity, and accuracy while conveying your core business fundamentals. Before you begin to develop your key messages, it's imperative that you consider your target audience to ensure that you're providing the nature and level of information that matters most to them. In identifying your target audience, consider what they need to know and also the lens or frame of reference from which they see the world. Use relevant analogies and try to draw connections that speak to their specific interest or experience. Similarly, you want to be mindful of the knowledge base and investment sophistication of your audience. If you're developing key messages for individual investors who are new to your sector, that requires a different approach than messages targeting a sector-specific institution. Try to avoid alienating an audience by using overly technical terms that might be meaningless to them, or by over-explaining concepts that most people would easily understand. When you're dealing with multiple target audiences, key messages can be adjusted or tweaked to optimally resonate with each group. For example, equity holders will often have very different objectives compared to debt holders, while a dividend fund will be looking for something quite different than a growth fund. Now that you've identified who your target audience is, you can focus on developing those strong key messages. We think there are a few good rules of thumb to keep in mind when you approach this exercise, and it should always start with the why. Why should an investor or analyst pay attention to your story? Why should they give you their time or trust you with their capital? Answering these questions will help kickstart the key message development process. Obviously, you need to prioritize critical information about your business. Separate the interesting many from the important few. But always remember the rule of threes. People tend to recall information best when grouped into threes. So we suggest aiming for 3 to 5 easily digested messages that are memorable and repeatable. Be sure to highlight the value proposition that your unique business provides and how that ultimately benefits your investors or stakeholders. Showcase what differentiates you from your peers and competitors. Certain sectors can be crowded, so it's critical to be clear on those features that make you stand out. Remember to frame your messages in plain language. Avoid industry jargon and non-standard acronyms. Or if you must include them, be sure to define them up front. This helps keep your audience engaged by not talking over their heads and helps explain the importance of certain topics to your business or industry. Ensure key messages are specific and tailored to your organization. Avoid using slogans or concepts that could be mistaken for another peer or competitor. If you're commonly faced with the same questions or a common misunderstanding about your business, we recommend you tackle such challenges head on so that you can try and answer questions before they get asked, and demonstrate that you've thought about the opportunity or action needed to overcome challenges or barriers to investment. Provide facts, figures, and stats to substantiate and enhance your credibility. And lastly, you want to motivate your audience to take action. For example, entice an investor to learn more, take a meeting with management, or best of all, create a sense of urgency to buy your stock. As we all know, one of the only constants in life is change. So we all need to be flexible in a rapidly evolving environment. It's imperative to regularly review your key messages to ensure they continue to accurately reflect your core demographics and market position, your mission, your business. Through the review process, test whether your messages are easy to recall or if anything has been lost over time. It's also a good idea to confirm that your key messages remain your own by reviewing peers' materials to ensure unique concepts haven't also been adopted by your competitors. Some say imitation can be the sincerest form of flattery, but it can also be detrimental when it comes to your messaging. Consider any past feedback you've received from your target audience about the messaging, as that's the best insight you can get. And as appropriate, make adjustments. Oftentimes, the most valuable support can come from engaging an external third-party firm, such as an IR or communications professional, who is able to take a step back and help streamline and simplify complex stories. Being farther away from the detail enables a third party like 5Q to help management teams see the whole forest rather than just the trees. In addition, such firms truly understand what resonates with various audiences and can effectively develop points that elevate and differentiate your business. Lastly, I'll share a few other best practice tips and tricks for developing key messages. Building on some of my previous comments, ensure you maintain credibility by being upfront about challenges or obstacles facing your business and never try to hide the negatives. This gives you the opportunity to highlight how your unique strengths and strategies will help overcome challenges for your business or the industry. Avoid disparaging competitors or peers as a means of boosting or profiling your own story. There's always an opportunity to present your relative strengths without doing so at the expense of others. As an active company, public or private, you want to leverage every opportunity to reiterate your key messages across all possible platforms and constantly be reminding investors why they should hold your stock or remind other stakeholders of the value that you bring. Check to ensure your key messages are clearly reflected on your corporate website, within your press releases, your presentations, and your fact sheets, and then start thinking about how to incorporate those key messages across some other documents like your MD&A, AIF, information circular. Finding opportunities to repeatedly convey a clear, consistent, and compelling story will help position your company prominently in the minds of your target audience. I hope that my presentation today gets you thinking about your company's key messages and whether it's time to take a look at them and make sure you're truly putting your best foot forward again and again. If the team at 5Q can help in any way, we would welcome the opportunity to speak with you and encourage you to visit our website, 5qir.com, to learn more about different ways we can support your organization. Once again, thanks very much to the TMX Group for giving me the opportunity to share some thoughts with you today. Have a great day.